December 31st, 2020. It's currently 12:28 p.m. and I have been seated at bus stop number 7999 after completing a purchase at Shiro's Liquor after leaving the museum and the state engaged in the ongoing stalking via plane police. Using a plethora of planes, flying around in small white planes, flying over in helicopter, and flying over in the same commercial-sized airplanes. That's the creation of audible activity for purposes of criminal monitoring in concert with third-party group stalkers who surround, who also engage in stalking activity. That is creating activity with simultaneity to your every movement, to your activity, or any change thereof. In concert with their presence, the state engaging in not only stalking with its light source, that is the fake sun, that is also engaging in the molestation of my person with that which is not naturally occurring. This is the state directing light as third parties are what is called patrolling, and that is they're just crossing path on foot, on bike, in vehicles, including Omnitrans, a transit line, crossing path with every other third-party group stalker, where the state is still stalking by airplane, helicopter, where the state is still stalking with its fake sun, where the state is still engaging in molestation of light as those third parties are in direct presence. It's P.O.C. for monitoring with communication devices in violation of 18 U.S.C. section 42A. Where the state is engaging in monitoring with communication devices using the internet, using airplanes, the helicopters, using the train, amplifying all manner of activity. That is literally basically applying a microphone to it, making everything louder than it is, while third parties are engaging in surrounding with their presence and surrounding with activity. This is them slamming their car doors, starting their ignitions, revving their engines, honking their horns, with large vehicles like trucks, putting them in reverse so that they create a loud beeping sound, all of which the state is amplifying in volume. This is how a public entity monitors you. That is called stalking with activity, as I am literally turning on another phone. That is the demonic aspect of what I'm documenting. This is that which is not audible to the human ear. This is that which third parties engage in routinely. This is that which characterizes this pattern of conduct by the state. It is not only criminal monitoring, it is satanic, it's demonic activity. That is seen visibly on the cameras everywhere that I'm at, surveillance cameras at BNG Plaza, surveillance cameras inside of the venues where I go, surveillance cameras, the traffic cameras, where they are literally engaging in what is monitoring on camera visibly. And I am telling you the ongoing stalking conduct I've documented. I've already presented this. So the understanding is establishing the state's stalking conduct and the manners in which the state is engaging in monitoring, and documenting everyone that is engaging in that system, providing timestamps, providing documentation of my location, and the state's engagement and using its instruments of monitoring in concert with that surrounding presence of the police, that is Ontario Police, the fire and ambulance as well, and third-party group stalkers, whether they are driving a commercial vehicle or whether they are driving a private vehicle. They are engaging in monitoring all together as a single group. That is the P.O.C. It's currently 12:31 p.m. And I completed a purchase at Shiro's Liquor at that was 11:30, I believe. Let me confirm that. I believe it was 11:31 a.m. By the way, that's the train as I stand up. That's called stalking with activity. That is what the state does all night long at the museum as well, stalking with the amplified activity of a train that is often not even in motion. All right, that is the state just creating noise to monitor, while third parties are in relevant position, while the state remains in relevant position, stalking as one group, monitoring an American citizen. I did complete my purchase at Shiro's Liquor at 11:32 a.m. And I have already documented the state engaging in stalking with its fake sun squarely over the venue, over the museum, and then over the Shiro's Liquor as it literally migrates, remaining over any area, any venue where I'm at, the locations where I'm at, and directing light onto the surfaces in a manner that is absolutely ridiculous. It is clear just monitoring conduct. And as third parties, as I've documented, plenty of license plates of third parties. This is the link of that conduct, the ongoing flashing of light as Omnitrans drives by, as third parties drive by, flashing of light, which is not occurring by sunlight. Okay, this is literal flashing of light as they are crossing paths. Those are the criminal elements of monitoring. There are 3 elements: light, activity that is audible, visible, and or sensational activity, and that is relevant positioning. And that is literally the stalking presence of remaining in the path. They are remaining in the path via traffic, and they are doing so deliberately with regard to the state stalking, flying in all manner of aircrafts all around, creating audible activity, and the state remaining present with its light source. And it is currently 12:34, and I'm going to take a picture of what is the light activity the state's fake sun remaining directly over me at bus stop number 799 over B&G Plaza, where they are all monitoring together. Behind me in the parking lot, in relevant position, they're stalking. They're engaging in group stalking at Stereo City. They're engaging in group stalking at T-Mobile. You're talking about an entire radius where they're monitoring with communication devices, including the residential areas, Ontario Town Square, Metro 102. I'm sorry, this is Ontario Town Square Apartments that I'm directly across from. Ontario Town Square is in relevant position as well. This is why the state is engaging in placing its fake sun, which is concentrated light, over the area for purposes of massive monitoring. That is the sound of a truck in alignment tuning inside of Ontario Town Square, creating audible activity while third parties are patrolling in traffic. So let me give you a license plate, because this is an example of monitoring conduct. They're entering B&G Plaza right now in a Toyota Corolla, crossing path, and also exiting at the same time. That is license plate 8 Nancy Robert Frank 984. That's monitoring conduct. They're all present while they create ongoing audible activity. I documented a ton of license plates this morning, including the police engaging in that ongoing stalking conduct, crossing paths visibly, and this is intentional after they are aware that I documented their license plate, even verbally addressing me personally while they're driving down the street as though we are friends, and we are not. And that is speaking to not only monitoring its audible activity under the state's fake sun, while third parties are patrolling, also creating audible activity, while also the state is molesting with impossible light activity. That's this flashing light. This is the police not only engaging in federal group stalking and monitoring, this is also the police communicating a threat. This is the entity that is monitoring you, speaking your name while they're driving past in traffic, monitoring you. That's a threat. And engaging in multiple times of crossing paths with every other third party. 8 Apple 35128. These are the group of third parties that are right now patrolling in traffic, and this is on the traffic cameras at Plum and Holt, the traffic cameras at Euclid and Holt, and there is no exception or exclusion from engagement in that pattern of conduct. This is how a public entity monitors an American citizen. With regard to P.O.C, I want to go ahead and I did take an image of the state's fake sun, which is currently planted over B&G Plaza, aiming light directly onto my person. And again, at 11:31, like I cited, when I completed my purchase, it was in the exact same location. It is remaining in that same location. This is reiterating that which I have already established in my documentation with regard to the state stalking with light. It is stalking with light because not only is it a demonic practice that the state of California is engaged in, but it is because it is engaged in monitoring with communication devices, and light is central to that. Every single license plate of it represents a third party that is monitoring with that state and engaging in intentional crossing of paths, okay? Aware. The state is not just aiming light and they don't know that they're present with regard to monitoring. This is why the state has its light over this venue. This is all that the state is consumed with, which is monitoring and also criminal obstruction of justice, seeking to intimidate, threaten, and otherwise harass the targeted individual who is monitoring, who is documenting the fact that it is engaged in a criminal monitoring system. By the way, that is what the fictitious prosecution Mary Wendy Victor 2000640 is all about: criminal obstruction of justice. License plate 6 Charlie Daniel Nancy 125, I believe, crossing path. This is with regard to the B&G Plaza, all of them monitoring as well. Directly behind me in the parking lot. It's currently 12:38 p.m. I want to go over, first of all, the third-party license plates, and I want to go over the license plate of Ontario Police. As I am walking from the museum, where the state's light source is directly over that venue, and literally moving backwards with me as I go to this venue, B&G Plaza, and again remaining. It's over an hour later and it's still in the same position. While the state is engaging in flashing of light as third parties are driving past. This is molestation of your person. Every documented third party engaged in that sexual molestation, the state is a sex offender and engaged in criminal facilitation of sexually offending an American citizen. This is how you prosecute and understand the nature of the crime of monitoring with communication devices. And this is like any other stalker that is touching the person that they are stalking, and you are talking about an incredibly threatening stalker that is monitoring you, and not only doing so, doing it through the people that surround you. This is incredibly threatening conduct while it is engaging in molestation of your person with its criminal instruments of monitoring conduct. That is license plate, let me get 7 Daniel King Jack 450, a white Tahoe, while they are driving what is east on Hope Boulevard. And while I took an image of the state's fake sun directly over ultra personnel, directly behind me inside of the B&G Plaza, flashing light onto the sidewalk and onto my person. That is an example of what they are doing by the hundreds as they are driving past. That's monitoring. And that third party is present for the purpose of the state to engage in that criminal conduct. The entity is listening to every word that I'm uttering as I'm uttering it. Okay, so that's just P.O.C, and this is an example of what they are all doing, of what I've documented. It is 12:39 p.m. and I'm going to go through P.O.C with regard to third parties documented as I remain at this venue at B&G Plaza, completing my purchase at Shiro's Liquor. And actually, one moment, please. It's 12:41 p.m. And what I want to also make sure that I emphasize is the fact that the exact same impossible light activity, which is monitoring conduct, which is also demonic activity, the state's behavior with light at the same time that a third party and or the state is indirectly in your path, which is not occurring from sunlight. This is the exact same conduct occurring with every other third party that happens to be driving a commercial vehicle. What I am showing you is how the state is acting universally. It is presence, irrespective of identity. It is presence in the path. You are focusing on the elements. And I want to go through, with regard to the third parties, specifically with Omnitrans. This is a transit line engaging in super duper, excuse my, I'm putting it in the vernacular because they're engaged in tremendous stalking conduct for purposes of monitoring, aware of the fact, and hostile to my documentation. Again, the public entity is not ignorant of what I'm documenting. They are aware of it, engaging in real-time reactions as I recite or write down their license plates, as I speak to the demonic environment as they're monitoring. In Omnitrans, the same impossible light activity. This is flashing of light onto the concrete, onto the walls, which I've also captured in video and images and already published. This is what the state is engaging in. This is what Omnitrans is participating in, as it is also in the path. That's light activity, that's visible activity, audible activity, while they are loitering in relevant position. And the state is engaging in monitoring me. Omnitrans is engaged in monitoring, just like every other third party documented. Just as I spoke to as in real time, the third party in the white Tahoe. Okay, so today is December 31st. I want to go through the license plate. 8 Apple Zebra Wendy 558. And I have written them down. They are substantially similar to what I have written. So this is documentation in real time, gathering all the information that I can in the moment. Okay, so this is 8 Apple Zebra Wendy 558, 2225X2, 5EQP 257, 8 Nancy QW 223, 8TQC 070, 8MFJ 867, G343W0, 6NPW 544, 80517D1, 8SEF798, 92140H2, 8NCB788, 7WZT071, and 7BGB392, 7VXH377, 6XRR629, 6NZV265, 6RFT613, 8JXA177, 7WW6115, 8CLK519, 7YWR584, 8CAG102, 7RKJ581, 7DYT762, 5JIR515, 7FFX699, 7KVN381, 7CLM264, 2200710, 5TUW981, 68TU901, 7C00926, 7SBP237, 8, I want to say TIX505 or 8JIX505, but I believe that's a T. 8TIX505. 1545754 or substantially similar, that is Omnitrans number 1364. Again, engaging in that same molestation with light in concert with the state as it is in the path, with the state's fake sun hovering over this venue where I'm at with every other third party. It is, let's see, I've got 8FAF076, 8LKW655, 6PVW919, 7KYD745, Omnitrans, which I just noted Omni is at the corner of Euclid and Holt. This is while I am walking from the museum, crossing the street, and documenting third-party group stalkers in alignment to me in the vacant parking lot of 214 South Euclid Avenue, which is closed down, but understand even if it was open, that would be a third party engaged in POC as well. But the venue is actually closed down, and they are in direct alignment to me as I'm up, packing up my belongings at the museum. This is monitoring as I'm engaging in movement. I understand the state is stalking, remaining in the path as I engage in any activity, engage in any movement or any change thereof. That's the definition. And this is called stalking conduct, and it's called stalking with activity. And that's how you monitor with communication devices, by the way. 8 Victor 70L71, that's a paper license. License 045L32. I have Ontario Police, but I want to get to that afterwards. 5 Jack Robert Frank 435, 41756D2, 31063N2, 92385R2, Omnitrans number 2344 going west, 4PHF635, 4437 1C1, Omnitrans number 2361 going east. That is on Holt Boulevard, by the way. This is all on Holt Boulevard. Let's see. 6ACG546. Omnitrans number 1363 going westbound on Holt Boulevard. 7XQJ165, 7VMD071, 6ABT173, or 6ABTL73, one or the other. I have 85MT394. I have 7HJM035, 6JIP711, 7BXB597, 7MRU210, 8TDY624, TFAMLEY, 8A1Y892. I have, and by the way, as I remain sitting here at bus stop number 7999, Plum and Holt cameras, Euclid and Holt cameras, B&G cameras. This is ongoing POC as they are driving past, going both east and west, and flashing light. That is flashing light onto the sidewalk, onto my person as they are driving past. That is third-party conduct, by the way. That is the marker of a third party, and this is the operation of a monitoring system. So what you're listening to in the background is ongoing POC, and as they're crossing path, light is flashing with their presence. Understand, those are the three elements of monitoring right there, and this is exactly what I'm documenting. Okay? And it is also demonic activity. License plate 7 Zebra XG659. 7EVW746. 5NFZ034, 86190P2, 7V52794, Omnitrans 1302445, number 133, and occurring right now in relevant position at the stop number 7999, and as they drive by, the same orange radiant light appearing onto the sidewalk and onto my person. This is license plate 1234515, Omni number 1222, and again, there are cameras on Omnitrans as well. Another means of documenting that third party and documenting third parties in the path in front and around that bus. They're all monitoring together, and that is crossing a path. The same, like I said, molestation of impossible light activity occurring as they are driving past, and this is not also, it's not only the identification of the system, the identification of a third party, it is also hostility to documentation, as Omnitrans, as every other third party, as the state that is listening right now is aware of my documentation and engaging in the prevalent molestation of light as Omnitrans drives by. Okay, when you are driving east and west on Holt Boulevard, light is never shooting onto the surfaces like lasers and shooting into the shade and off of there onto the surfaces all around. This is what characterizes, this is what I continue to document everywhere I go. Even in Los Angeles, I documented the same light activity. Inside of Coin Laundry, I documented the same light activity. All right, I documented this at Stater Brothers. All right, I document this while I am walking outside on the sidewalk and you see the impossible light activity. This is the state aiming light, multiple shadows, because the state is aiming light. The same conduct at Mercy House, third party facilitating venue. This is monitoring conduct. This is what Omnitrans is engaged in, and you just got a real-time recitation of that POC. While it is engaging in criminal harassment, threatening intimidation, that's a third party acting on behalf of the state vicariously, molesting my person with impossible light activity, and they are doing so with knowledge of my documentation. That's the legal significance of that third party Omnitrans that I just documented, and it is currently 12:52 p.m., so that was approximately 12:50 p.m. that Omnitrans engages in POC. And understand, they're running a transit line. It's called legally irrelevant. Not only does Omnitrans engage in deviating from its routes and its time tables that are published in a book, they are also engaging in, while they are on time schedule, while they are en route, crossing paths with every other third-party group stalker, where the state is stalking me by plane and helicopter and with the fake sun and molesting with impossible light activity. There is no exception and there's no exclusion. Omnitrans is a blatant third party and very easily identifiable, and they stand out in that regard, and this is why it is also a valuable documentation and revealing how they are a third party acting no different than every other third party. With regard to the license plates, I want to get more from today, just in case I did not cite this one. 7ZXG659, 7EVW746, 5NFZ034, 7FHK746, 86190P2, 7V52794, 17730A3, 5NBW991, 8TKV937, Just in case I did not read those, and this is Omnitrans, which I believe I read. Omnitrans number 1333, license 1302445. 7FHK746. I literally scratched it down, so I'm just making sure I read all of them out loud. 8, the number 8. So let me start again. 8HJB661. That's 8HJB661. 7TAP791. Omnitrans 1545683, number 2344, with the same impossible light activity as what I noted. 8MKY501, 7RDY776, 8LMN281, 8D92070, DNSGZ1, substantially similar to that. The 8CRV317, and Ontario Police, engaging in federal group stalking and monitoring, engaging in criminal obstruction of justice, communicating a threat, crossing path multiple times, documented not only in the traffic cameras but documented in writing. Again, the state is aware in real time of what I write. And so as I document on the cameras at Plum and Holt that license plate 1496971, Ontario Police are engaging in crossing path under the state's fake sun as it was driving west on Holt Boulevard and then makes a turn to go what is north on Plum, which I immediately identify on the traffic cameras. The Ontario Police vehicle stops in the middle of Plum while a third party in relevant position in a white van turns on its hazard lights. This is light activity. This is criminal facilitation. They're monitoring together. And this is when Ontario Police also engages in turning what is west onto Transit. This is all that which the state is aware of. So as I document this on the traffic cameras, I write it down, state aware of this. And the knowledge of their awareness speaks to, is revealed by the ongoing conduct in real time as I document. Okay, this is what speaks to the state's ongoing knowledge. In addition to the fact that a public entity that is monitoring you is also monitoring your documentation of its criminal activity. This is natural. This logically follows. Okay, so this particular state actor, this is the state acting directly via Ontario Police, who are monitoring me. License again 1496971 on cameras at Plum and Holt. At that first interaction, under all the same exact elements, and while third parties are creating additional light and audible activity at that light while I am crossing. This is while I'm en route to Shiro's Liquor B&G Plaza to make a purchase, as the state's fake sun remains directly over me, hovering, and then remains planted over the plaza as I remain here. And this specific vehicle, because you do not make any assumptions with regard to who's driving it, it is actually not relevant either. They represent the state, but the state is engaged in seeking to individualize and seeking to create that which is legally irrelevant as well, which is some sort of narrative explaining their stalking presence, which is legally irrelevant. When you're talking about monitoring with communication devices, you are talking about being in the path, period. This is how a state monitors you, and this is the state monitoring directly under all the exact same elements. And this is 4 times that the Ontario Police, this same exact vehicle, by the way, engaging in crossing path, and visibly so. It's not only engaging in multiple times of crossing path. The state is doing this intentionally, aware that I documented them. Engaged in some futile effort to create a narrative for their stalking presence, engaged in trying to wage some threat because I'm documenting them, engaged in arming the third-party venues around with devices of monitoring while I sit at 7999. Who knows? It really does not matter. You have the Ontario Police engaging in ongoing patrolling as I sit at bus stop number 7999 in the same exact vehicle, license plate number 1496971. And the second time that this vehicle passes, it is driving east on Holt Boulevard, and the officer inside appears to be and sounds as a female who is driving. She's in traffic, driving east on Holt Boulevard, and identifies me by name, calling me out by name. Hi, Erica. How are you? This is exactly what she says while she is in the midst of driving. She is focused on me sitting at the bus stop. Not only is she monitoring, understand that's audible activity, under the state's fake sun, which I just captured an image of, which I have already established is not the sun at all. And while the state is also engaging in ongoing molestation with impossible light activity all over the surfaces around, while the state is also engaging them, dropping items onto the hood of this bus stop with simultaneity to my movement. That's called stalking with activity. That's what the state is doing. That is planted above me in planes and helicopters. That engages in sounding its presence for purposes of monitoring. The state is engaged in ongoing ceaseless stalking by aircraft, dropping items onto the bus stop. These are all the aspects of POC that are occurring while this Ontario police officer calls me out by name. Hi, Erica, how are you doing? While she is crossing path, creating audible activity, while third parties are patrolling, impossible light activity, accompanying their patrolling conduct, and while the state's fake sun is directly over the venue. She's monitoring, and she is also communicating a threat. Understand, this is the police, this is the state acting directly. This is no friend of mine, specifically Ontario police, who have engaged in multiple counts of kidnapping upon federal group stalking and monitoring, theft of my vehicle, and all manner of harassment and criminal threats and intimidation, while the state is swarming above in planes and helicopters. This is POC, and it is also the communication of a threat. And understand that this is how you pierce through to the elements and pierce past any superficial and legally irrelevant form. There is no form there. This state vehicle is engaged in repeated 4 times, I documented, crossing in path, loitering in relevant position, while third parties are patrolling as one group. These are not individuals that I'm documenting with regard to the POC. This is a single unified group of third-party group stalkers engaging in ongoing presence together, while the state is surrounding with light, the state is surrounding with activity, and while they are also creating light and activity as well. That's POC. I am documenting each individual one to be identified for purposes of where I am, for purposes of how you document and how you prosecute third parties, and how you also break apart that system of group stalking and monitoring, because at federal prosecution there is no shelter. The public entity is prosecuted, and every third party group stalker acting pursuant to that system is likewise prosecuted. And this is the value of documentation, in addition to the fact of my location, the timing of their passing. I'm identifying them so you know what group they are a part of, as I am identifying their vehicles. And again, you want to be clear, the state is also aware of the fact that I'm documenting, so you have third parties engaging in criminal obstruction, different license plates on their vehicles, paper license plates that may or may not actually identify that vehicle and that driver. This is all relevant. It is, with regard to my documentation, it's no matter here nor there, but for legal purposes, that is called criminal obstruction of justice. And that is also speaking to the ongoing knowledge that they are being documented. And that is a pattern. With regard to Ontario police, that is the second time that they cross paths, saying, "Hi, Erica, how are you?" while she is slowly driving past in the midst of moving traffic, engaging in the 3 elements of criminal monitoring and facilitating monitoring by all the third parties in relevant position, which span beyond B&G Plaza, spans beyond Holt Boulevard, by the way. And this is also while I am sitting at bus stop number 7999. This state vehicle is engaged in loitering again at Plum and Holt, at the corner of Plum and Holt, in alignment to me. As I see them, as I see her presence, she gets out of the vehicle. At the same time that I see her presence, she gets out of the car, and the state engages in creating audible activity via a commercial plane right behind me. This is also stalking with activity. The state aware of what I am observing visually and creating activity as I engage in movement, which is literally moving my head to observe Ontario police loitering in relevant position at the corner of Plum and Holt. The Ontario police officer literally gets out the car, goes onto the sidewalk, and goes back to the car and drives off. This is Omnitrans number 1535708, number 1363, POC, the same impossible light activity as they are crossing path. And this is the 3rd time that Ontario police crosses path, again, loitering in relevant position, state stalking with plane activity behind me over B&G Plaza at the moment that I look up at this Ontario police vehicle. The 4th time driving past again on Holt Boulevard, crossing path with every other third-party group stalker under all the same factual elements. I want to document third parties. Ontario, City of Ontario, vehicle number 9160, license 1565131. California number 40424. They use their vehicles for light and audible activity, beeping, especially while I'm at the museum. Mercy House documented that. This is third-party group stalker 8MQF662-35853U2, 8SKE524. 4KAX792, 8JAS767, 7MYL523, 8EAK706, 7ZFZ598, 7JIZ464, 7LVJ567, 8SJ868, so I think that's 8SJY868, excuse me. This is P.O.C. as I'm just standing outside. Again, the state's fake sun in the exact same position. It is 1:04 p.m. by the way, 11:30 to 1:04 in the same position over B&G Plaza. This is monitoring as they are driving past. For example, 66816J1, the state is aiming light onto the columns of the bus stop where I'm sitting. That's monitoring conduct, P.O.C. This is license plate 8SVK177. License plate 8PIA586, license plate 83915G1, 5YCY103, 8AJM718, 6M66988. Impossible light activity all over the sidewalks while they're driving past. 8ROU691, 7VJZ 880. 7XXJ247, 8ETK 467, I believe. And what you have is traffic at a standstill on the opposite side of the street. And this is P.O.C. as well. Understand they are loitering in relevant position. The state's engaging in P.O.C. via traffic systematically. This is literally the state pacing back and forth. 8LZC591. And this is intentional conduct while they're monitoring as I'm using my communication device to document. So traffic is built up from Euclid Avenue all the way back to Sultana. This is the stalking conduct by the state. This is third-party conduct. This is the state controlling the lights. This is monitoring as I'm sitting outside, and the state is aware that I'm documenting, so they just build up in traffic. This is what I documented yesterday with regard to the state's fake sun directly over 150 East Holt. While traffic was built up, it is the exact same conduct. At that time of day, you've got noon and the state's fake sun directly over 150 East Holt. Recall that. Note my documentation. I've already published this. License plate 7ZAL530. 4KSK280, making a U-turn to aim its lights on me as I step out further into the street. That's the stalking with activity conduct. This is demonic activity. They're all monitoring together. 7HWN204, and I want to get one from this group, 7UYS790. That's on the opposite side of the street where they are built up in traffic, which the state uses as a means of remaining in relevant position to me and align as I'm documenting their license plates as I engage in movement in operation of a communication device. That is stalking, by the way. That's called being in the path and being in a position to remain in the path while you are engaging in any movement, any activity, or any change thereof. That's P.O.C. It is currently 1:07 p.m. And I remain at bus stop number 7999. You have all elements present, and it is federal group stalking and monitoring in ceaseless operation, and that is the P.O.C. All right, December 31st, 2020, it's Thursday. This is P.O.C. I want to put down a few license plates that I documented en route to this venue. P.O.C. is ceaseless. I just document as I go. The state's fake sun remaining over Ontario Town Square as I sat there, remaining at B&G Plaza as I was there, and now it is 4:16 p.m. and I did capture images of the state's fake sun aiming light onto this venue and into the depths under the covering of the front of the store. This is absolutely impossible light activity as the state is aiming light into the store. This causes ongoing light activity as third-party group stalkers are patrolling as one group in and out, creating light activity, creating ongoing activity by doing so, and stalking with activity. That is, as a group, while they are present creating activity, they are also mirroring my movements, any change in activity in addition to that. License plate 736 Nancy, that's a handicap plate, as Amazon Prime is hovering over while I am approaching the parking lot of the Ontario Village Shopping Plaza. That is at Bonita, it's hovering over. Audible activity, that's the state monitoring as third parties surround under the state's fake sun. 8LGV667, 8JNV117. And I also captured images of this venue as in front on both sides of the store, meaning east and west entrance doors, where the state is aiming light onto the floorway underneath the covering of the building. This is, again, the state directing light, in addition to the fact that it is impossible light, in addition to the fact that that is not the sun either, and the state is stalking with light and aiming light on all of the surfaces around while they, meaning third parties, surround. And I walk through on surveillance cameras, third parties engaging in grouping conduct. And so this is the entity aware of documentation. So what do? They just engage in more presence. This in no way conceals the ongoing criminal conduct of monitoring. You are seeing how a group acts together to surround, such that the false premise is that you're not able to construe what is going on. You are not individualizing P.O.C. They are present as a group. They are present as I am walking through the store, past all of the aisles, specifically at the meat area, the back of the store, where they chop up meat and stuff. You've got a large group just and loitering presence in relevant position as you walk through. This is P.O.C. inside of the store. This is how they monitor inside of the store. And also you've got the amplification of sound inside of the venue, where I was walking where near the produce, where the drinks are. And what you have is this use of amplification of sound. You have an employee, a male, that is by the alcohol area. And as I am at the corner approaching the produce, passing the water, what you hear, it sounds as though this man is right next to me. This is amplification of sound inside the store. I walk back about 3 aisles. He is 3 aisles behind, and that closeness of activity is amplification of activity. And also it is stalking activity while I am walking through the venue. This is called monitoring in the bathroom. These are third-party group stalkers engaging in creating activity, just like when I'm on the street and the state engages in a real-time reaction with all manner of light and in all manner of loud activity as they are listening to me document. That's what this is inside of the bathroom via third parties. It is the exact same monitoring conduct. And it is currently 4:20 p.m. and that is all elements present while ongoing P.O.C. inside of this venue at Stater Brothers located at 646 West Holt. This is bathroom monitoring by Martha as well. I documented an image of her inside of the bathroom. She comes in right after me, engaging in creating activity next to me. And this is while I did capture an image of her entering in, and then as I engage in using the bathroom, third party enters again, remaining silent in the bathroom, and literally listening to me use the bathroom as I also turned off my phone. That's what's significant. I turned off my phone, and you have someone enter in the bathroom again immediately after Martha exited. Which I captured an image of that. Ongoing amplified activity above the bathroom, that is the employees upstairs, the state amplifying that, and you have them sending in third-party group stalkers into the bathroom, creating all manner of activity. That's bathroom monitoring as well, and that's real-time documentation of it. All elements are present, the state stalking by plane, state stalking by light, and impossible light activity inside of the venue. This is real-time documentation of monitoring inside of the bathroom. That's what Stater Brothers is providing. Third-party group stalkers, they act on behalf of Stater Brothers, a third party. It is attributed to Stater Brothers, and Stater Brothers, all conduct is attributed to the state. It's 4:21 p.m. That's P.O.C. That is how third parties create activity, coming in and using it as well. That's the same activity creation. And they do so as I turn off my phone, as I said, and as they are listening to me document P.O.C. It's 4:22 p.m. That is amplification of the hand dryer in the men's restroom while they are loitering in relevant position. This is bathroom monitoring. 4:22 p.m. Okay, 4:28 p.m. What you'll see on the cameras is crowding in front of the bathroom. That's what that is. It is under the appearance of everyone crowding in, getting items from the tobacco, using the coin machine, using the Arrowhead ATM, standing in front, just rummaging through bags and whatnot. This is monitoring inside of the bathroom. The state is literally directing light and possible light activity inside of the store, and this is how you strip down the elements from what is demonic group activity for monitoring. The state is flying over this venue, and this is monitoring inside of a venue. This is how they engage in literally stalking inside of the store. That is remaining in the path and stalking with activity, keeping you surrounded by entity and by activity. That is on the cameras at my exit of the bathroom, where they send in third parties to not only create activity, but also through the men's bathroom amplification of sound, and also the employees above amplification of sound, which is all for purposes of monitoring. Everything that you can hear serves that monitoring purpose. Wow, mind you, the state is directing light inside of the venue. It's 4:29 p.m. And I'm going to go ahead and take an image so you can see that is light activity on the Bud Light, coming from what's supposed to be the outside of the store. All right, while they are all grouped together, this is monitoring inside of the venue. This is P.O.C. I'm going to show you this. Light activity. Inside of, I'm at aisle 7, light arriving on the inside of the aisles, on to the popcorn. Light activity as they walk back and forth. This is patrolling. They're also patrolling in the parking lot, mind you, while light is directed in here, and light onto the inventory on the popcorn. That's what I took an image of. And this is light activity as they are walking around. This is monitoring conduct, okay? This is the same exact elements, the same exact behavioral pattern inside of the venue. Stater Brothers. Monitoring me inside of the bathroom, monitoring as I walk through the store, and mind you, aware of every word that I'm uttering while they are all engaging in group targeting conduct and outwardly acting as though they are about their business. They're monitoring with the state that is flying over this store, that is directing fake sunlight into the store. P.O.C. It is 4:31 p.m. All right, it's 4:35 p.m. I just want to get another shot of this spectacular light activity inside of this venue that is monitoring. This is light onto the walls as it's coming through the store. I am where the liquor is. Let me take a picture of that so you can see. This is the liquor area, and this is light from the entrance of the door, and it's also, mind you, again, like I captured in the picture, on the opposite side of the entrance. So this is impossible light activity at both entrances, excuse me, and this is also while you have the state directing light activity into the depths of the store onto the items that I am going to walk past. It also creates light activity, as I said, as they all are patrolling together. The state flashing light onto the refrigerated aisle right here. Next, this is impossible light activity. Let me take a picture of that. You can see that. It's P.O.C. This is monitoring, and it is demonic while they are all in relevant position. Take a picture of that. That's monitoring. It's 4:36 p.m. All right, now I did capture images of the popcorn that had clear light activity on it. I just want to show how the state is literally moving light inside, and this light is now gone. That's moments later. It's on the Coca-Cola bottles now. Let's get this. There you go. With shadow activity. On the Coca-Cola bottles, I'm in between aisles 6 and 7. This is P.O.C. This is the same venue that's engaged in monitoring in the bathroom, that's engaged in harassment, engaged in criminal threats. I've documented for Stater Brothers for a very long time, including Starbucks. This is back before they were closing down venues, where the state was engaging in remaining over this intersection as opposed to Ontario Town Square, because I was sitting at Starbucks all day long, where the state was stalking with light all day long. This is what I'm saying. My ongoing documentation is cumulative with regard to the state stalking with light, and all they do is surround in their presence in the path. That's how a public entity monitors you. And what I am capturing is the absolutely fantastical light activity while they are all just patrolling around. This is demonic activity in your face, understand? This is criminal monitoring at Stater Brothers, and this is going on the internet. It's P.O.C. It is 4:39 p.m. Okay, 4:39 p.m. This is another note with regard to the crowding group conduct that they're doing in the store. You're going to want to take a big picture look at what they are doing with regard to remaining present. You've got a group inside of at the butcher shop area, and then on the opposite side of the store, the grouping conduct that's at the registers. This is for purposes of remaining present in the center of the store. Either way that I walk with regard to crossing a path, they remain in the path. So they're grouping at the butcher shop, they're grouping at the registers with the ongoing lines. Understand this is positioning inside of the venue for purposes of monitoring, and it is that which you'll see on cameras. They're engaging in monitoring conduct just like everywhere else on camera, and I am giving you the translation of what legally the significance is with regard to how the public entity monitors you through this positioning, because that's what this is. Go ahead. Took an image of that. This is group conduct, so understand that they're acting cooperatively, and this is how the state is monitoring right now, flying over this store by plane and helicopter as I speak, listening to every word that I am uttering in real time. And third parties are too. That's how they're able to engage in that stalking conduct of remaining present and creating noise at the drop of a dime if I make any sudden movement. That's P.O.C. I did capture those images. It's 4:41 p.m. All right, 4:44 p.m. as I stand in this extraordinary long line, which are third parties that are just engaging in presence in the venue, Stater Brothers. It is 4:45 p.m. and as I stand in this line, and I'm on the cameras as well, you can note the distance, and you have the sound of the hand dryer all the way at the men's restroom from this distance. Yeah, I'm in line, which you can hear over here. That's called amplification, and it's amplified inside of the bathroom as well. That is not the natural volume. This is the state engaging in that same conduct inside of the venue, stretching the natural sound for purposes of crossing paths, just like the state is engaging in stretching the natural behavior of light by actually placing a fake sun and then aiming all kinds of light in every direction. For example, onto the products in the store where I'm standing while they're crossing path, amplifying sound while they're crossing path. Flying over the venue while they are all crossing path. This is P.O.C. Just wanted to note that amplification while I'm standing in aisle 9. Okay, standing in aisle 9 behind because it's a long line, and you can hear the hand dryer inside of the men's bathroom. That is ridiculous audible activity. It's P.O.C. 4:46 p.m. 4:46 p.m. I do complete my purchase. I'm in the parking lot where they are patrolling. 7LNH 756. Let's see. 7N37467. An old Honda with no plate on it. It's not even new. 7SAY 684. 5BNC 792. 52974F1. 7RQM 024. 8JAK 650, 7ZUC 514, paper BC47C80, 7X62752, 7TOC 494, 55550N2, 5NTT230, 5FYU 793, 6739 4X2, 8POA 657, just to name a few. They are all monitoring. It's P.O.C. It is 4:49 p.m. I am on the surveillance cameras walking through the parking lot. 8AUL 594 crossing path, the amplified sound of a motorcycle. 8AGK 522. The significance of this is ongoing presence. Let me give you another picture with regard to the forest from the trees. In the same way that I'm showing you how the state engages in piling up in the street by traffic, that's exactly what they do inside of a venue such as a grocery store. All right, that is the exact same conduct without a car. Okay, building up that group in a line. They are engaging in being present while aware that my communication device is on, aware of every word that I'm uttering as well. That's what you heard inside the bathroom. Those are literally third parties monitoring, but also aware of what I'm doing inside, which is documenting. And the state engages in that pattern of engaging in more boisterous activity as it listens to me document. It's hostile to documentation. 8TRR 975, 8GQF 903, 8SOK 642, 65111C2. It's the sound of amplified traffic on Holt. 8APF 860, 6BLA 684. see, 7 TOC 494. It's POC. It's 4:50 p.m. And that was literally, yes, not the first time I've documented it though, but I'm going to go ahead and publish this. I have so much documentation that I haven't even published. I've been documenting this for a long time, specifically this stalking by light, specifically becoming aware of no matter what city I went to, no matter where I was at, a sun was literally hovering over my head. So I started documenting it. And when you pay attention to that documentation, you understand what the state is engaged in. It's monitoring. 6 XIV 350 8 TCD 085. Crossing path as I walk out to the street. That's called meeting me. Put that in quotation marks. The entity engages in meeting me at any place where I'm at. That's what they do at Plum as I document, using light activity, either sitting in the middle of the street with their hazards, or sitting on the side parked with their hazards, or their headlights on, or sitting at the traffic light. Understand this is a variation of the same exact conduct. This is how a public entity engages in monitoring, and this is through the tactics of third parties acting with that entity in the shoes of the government that's monitoring them. 4 MBF 611. That's POC. It's 4:52 p.m. And that is documentation of third-party facilitating venues, Stater Brothers, and ongoing as I exit, remaining in Ontario Village, where POC doesn't stop. It's continuous, and by the way, Ontario Village Shopping Plaza, a POC is not isolated to that plaza, but in the same way it's not isolated to Stater Brothers. What I'm speaking to is that which is occurring, what I'm describing with regard to inside of the venue and what they are doing in relevant position. Monitoring with communication devices spans a radius, okay? They're monitoring a distance well beyond the Ontario Village Plaza Shopping Center. That's POC. And I want to speak to right now what will be seen on the traffic cameras at Holt and Euclid is the state using its lights in the center of the intersection in alignment to me. That will be seen on the traffic cameras, and it turns to go 1462880, Ontario Police number 1824, and that's also the state. And so understand what the state is doing, aiming lights at Euclid and Holt, while Ontario Police are right here close to me. Understand that is POC. Okay, you have the police right here, that's the state. You have the state at Euclid and Holt in alignment to me, using its lights on its vehicles, as it is seen on traffic camera at Euclid and Holt, and then it turns south onto Euclid Avenue. That's POC, by the way, while third parties are patrolling as a group monitoring with it. All right, it's 4:53 p.m. That is the POC.